T-minus 1 minute.
More juice for the gyro.
Like the juice.
T-minus 50 seconds.
At the point where we're at, it is a lot easier for new people to get up to speed really quick.
T-minus 40 seconds.
Let's go. That's a W. That's E1. That's E1. That's a W. How many people want to eat a W tonight?
T-minus 30 seconds.
Retail taking over our camera. I think there may be a penalty for excessive celebration, but you know what? I'm going to let that one slide.
T-minus 20 seconds.
That's what I'm talking about. Now y'all some fun.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Take a deep
4,
breath.
3,
This is it right
2,
here.
1, 0.
Let's dig in, baby. Welcome back to the Football Card Quest. We are hot on the off-season grind, looking to do some live eBay sniping, calculating and crunching the numbers for these 2023 prospects, talking all things fantasy football for 2023 and live football card sniping and market analysis for 2023 with my main man, Steve, the eBay hitman, in the house tonight. How you doing, Steve?
Doing good, Andy. I know we're going to be covering a topic that I particularly like. Maybe not one that the hobby not yet heavily favors, but that seems to be a trend that could be changing, wouldn't you think?
Oh, I do, man, because it's really not just about the quarterback anymore. We've seen a variety of different positions, whether it's, Jason Kelce, the center, or Travis Kelce, the tight end, or Micah Parsons on the edge, or, TJ Watt or Aaron Donald on the line, man, depending on, it doesn't matter which position you play anymore. If you're a good player, you've got a good storyline going for you and all these other factors line up that we're going to talk about tonight, then I definitely see the pops on eBay. You and I have personally been on the winning side of some of those sold transactions. So we've been there. We've got the anecdotal experience, and we see the data. That's a wonderful thing about eBay, and you can see all the sold data, so you can get a really good idea of what's being sold right now.
Most definitely. Before we get into our focal coverage for the night, Andy, what do we got as far as some rumors you've been hearing?
Oh, well, actually, there's been some pretty good rumors today. It's just, one of them, I got to remind you guys about Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers, because, this is going to happen. Like, there is, let me read this to you real quick, Steve, because this is going to happen. The Packers' dead money change would jump from $40 million this year to $60 million if they move on from QB Aaron Rodgers next offseason. The Packers would need to restructure Rodgers if he returns. The Green Bay's contract with Rodgers has made to be trade friendly, giving them an option clause that can be exercised before the start of the year. With Jordan Love in the final year of his rookie deal on a massive 2024 dead cap charge, a Rodgers trade this offseason is the most likely outcome, because Rodgers returning in 2023 may force the Packers to trade Jordan Love. So whether Rodgers stays in Green Bay or leaves, this is good news if you're buying Jordan Love, because either Jordan Love is going to be the starter in Green Bay or he's going to be the starter somewhere else, likely starter. He may be in a quarterback competition somewhere, but I'm thinking that a team actually picks him up with the thought to start him, like the Atlanta Falcons. Like, I could see the Atlanta Falcons picking him up. Lamar Jackson, not a realistic get, right? Because he's likely to stay in Baltimore when they figure that whole thing out. But Jordan Love is a real get for the Atlanta Falcons, and Jordan Love is probably way more NFL ready than Desmond Ridder. That sounds like a good fit to me, Steve. And that's the starting job. Jordan Love's going to be hyped up. People are going to buy his rookie cards, limited NFL sample size. I'm not advocating people hold him and try and see if he can actually lead the Falcons some kind of playoff run or some kind of miraculous career, some kind of Brock Purdy season, anything like that. I'm just saying sell on the news. I'm saying to buy them now and sell on the news spike, Steve. That's one thing that we're big on around here.
I think if you grew up playing Madden or you like fantasy football or you just like football and you like stats, those kind of things, I mean, there's a guy named Kyle Pitts that you just love to see get unlocked, right? And they just need somebody that can throw the ball down there. And I think that would be sufficient as far as getting him going. They got a really good run game going. If they just had a good starting quarterback and maybe even a, top 30 wide receiver even, they make for a good team in a division that is just not looking too hot.
Yeah, and that's exactly what position category we really want to talk about tonight, because there's a really juicy tight end class being drafted this year. There's also some really good tight ends that are becoming free agents that are going to have impacts on their team. There's some good young tight end prospects like Kyle Pitts, who had a big time down year, suffered injury for most of the year. So, on top of a super run heavy team led by Marcus Mariota. So, it can only go up from here for Kyle Pitts, but he's got everything going for him. I like this play just because Atlanta does have a big market. Kyle Pitts is so young, and he has, arguably, I think, number 4 overall pick for a tight end. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'm not sure, but to me, I can't remember a tight end going number 4 overall. It's got to be probably the highest draft capital of any tight end in NFL history, right? I mean, or at least close to it. Shoot.
Yeah, I can't think of another. And I mean, like you said, this guy encompasses the position that we'd like to cover tonight. His cards since his rookie season have gone down just simply due to the lack of production. The expectation for him was through the roof, especially at his draft position, which you would expect for a tight end going 4th overall. But let's just be honest, the quarterback play was so bad that the opportunities weren't there. So if you could imagine the swing, the pendulum going the other way could be pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, it can only go up from here. I mean, sure, if you want to get in on a base card, definitely look at that PSA 10 just right off the bat. I mean, that card is about $24. Like, you could probably find that in an auction for around 20 to 24. It doesn't have a massive graded market. I'm kind of liking the I'm trying to figure out what's on that optic downtown there for Kyle Pitts. It's got like apples in the trees. Oh, it's
peaches.
Oh, it's a peach tree. That's right, man. Peachtree, Georgia. Okay. All right. I get it. They got Hotlanta in the background, got the peach trees going. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. So, the one thing that it was really difficult to find rookie ticket autos of Kyle Pitts. I don't know if it was because he wasn't present for some of the autograph signing events like the Panini Rookie Premiere and those other rookie events, but so much of his rookie autograph stuff is still redemptions or sticker autos. So I think if you could find a Kyle Pitts like on-card auto, I think you've really got something special. Even Gator stuff, man, because this is a big college program. He had a prolific college career. That's a big reason why, his draft capital is so high. I mean, a lot of fans of Kyle Pitts at University of Florida too. So I got to think something like this is going to hold some pretty decent value. You got brand recognition, rookie card logo, multiple colors in the patch, on-card auto, serial number. Like, man, this is a pretty nice card right here for at least for the current price. Anyway, it's got 5 bids on it.
I'd pick that up. That's a beautiful card. We sometimes talk about the expectations in card breaking and stuff like that. My first card break I ever participated in was I ended up with the Kyle Pitts spot, and I ended up getting a college rookie ticket auto. Beautiful card. But buyer beware. It's not a typical get when you participate in the break, but it does get you excited that much more about a player if you're able to get a high-end card of his like that. Ooh, that Andy, that is.
Here we go.
That is nice, man.
This is where it's at right here, brother, because you once again have got Immaculate, which is one of the top 3 brands. I mean, I'd love to get your guys' opinion, but I'm putting Immaculate up there with Flawless and National Treasures. I know you could put there's a couple other brands you could put up there, like Contenders or specifically Optic Contenders. I think most people would agree is a little bit nicer. You could put Optic Contenders up there, Immaculate, Flawless, National Treasures. What am I missing, Steve? As far as like super primo brand, I guess you could put.
You could say like the higher end Prism autos, like serial numbered, and the Optic versions
Yeah.
as well. And you know what? I know some people would disagree, but I think Spectra's up there as well.
Spectre. A lot of people put Obsidian up there, Panini Black, Gold Standard. Some people are big fans of some of these lesser known hobby only sets that you can only get hobby boxes of. A lot of times it's like a pack of like 5-10 cards. And people like the product a lot, especially if you're targeting singles, right? Not a lot of us can afford to buy a box of Immaculate. You go to buy a. I'm curious. What do you think a box of Immaculate costs from Blowout?
From this year or last year? Or
2021.
Might be a little more because of the Trevor Lawrence, but man, I don't know. I don't know how many packs are in there. $3,000? Oh, $3,000. Look at that. Oh, first off the line.
Yeah, wait a minute. That's a little hybrid box that's got like half the cards. Let's see. No. You're right. That's first off the lines, it definitely has like an extra insert. I think it's the same size.
Okay, so 1900. Yeah, the third one.
$2,000. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a little bit more. You get one pack of 6 cards. Let's see what 2020. I bet you 2020 Immaculate's probably 3 or 4 times as much. What do you think? Yeah. 3,500. So not quite twice as much, but close to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of money for 6 cards, man. So you better be disposable income for you if you're getting involved with something like that. But I mean, that's where the big money's at. That's the Drakes of the hobby, the people that have big time money to throw around, and they can just brush it off if they don't hit a big card.
Yeah, like our man James in the chat, Derek Richard, Chad Dyer, some of the studs on the quest, Joel Garza. What's going on, guys? Anani in the house, BCJ. What's good? What is up? Yeah, Flawless. That's the brand I was thinking of. That wasn't coming to me. Yeah, definitely Flawless. If I didn't mention them, for sure. But the fact, if I could get, and that's why these Immaculate, especially like this Shadow Box, this on-card auto, it's already pretty rare from Kyle Pitts. We got some Atlanta Falcons uniform. We got this red color match here with this gold trim. I mean, super nice card. Serial number on the front, which I think we all agree that we like that, and most of us like that as well. I know some people prefer it on the back, but I really like it on the front. Man, and that's why this card has like $150 to $200 potential in a up hype Kyle Pitts market, in a much more hyped up Kyle Pitts market. You know,
that's just a nice card, man. That's the kind of card that if you were like a Kyle Pitts collector, like you could just buy just that one, put it on your desk. You're good. You're done collecting.
Yeah, or this one, another nice Immaculate there, 11 out of 25. Another, man, that is a really nice penmanship too. Like that penmanship right there, really nice. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and he just is one of a couple guys we'll touch on tonight that just have sky high potential, that their cards just aren't getting the love that they should yet.
So,
hey, someone said, guess what the Pitts Immaculate goes for? It ends in 5 days, Andy. Maybe we can open next week's show with what the end result's going to be. What do you think?
I think it's going to at least go up to like $74.
You're going on. Okay, that's a little lower than I thought. I'm going to say 185.
185. Okay. All right. Should we put a wager on it?
Should we put or maybe make a little poll for the chat? What do you guys think?
Make a poll.
Make a poll.
What about whoever gets it right? Leave a comment on the video. Whoever gets it right, I'll do a giveaway on the live stream next week for that person. I'll give away a fat pack of 2020 Donruss. How about that? Oh, speaking of Donruss, I got notification that the 2022 Donruss Hobby Box is on its way, courtesy of the Card Shop Live, guys. The Card Shop Live has sent us a box of 2022 Donruss Hobby Box to give away on the channel live. This should be next week. Steve, we'll have to do a special live stream because I don't want to take away from our live eBay sniping. It'll probably take me, because I am long-winded and tend to ramble on about one specific card that I've never seen before. So probably just do a live stream just for the break that you're more than welcome to join me for whenever we do that. But I got notification that UPS is on its way. The guy's driving cross country with it right now. So shout out to Card Shop Live, guys. Go check them out. The ultimate live streaming card shopping experience, singles, box breaks, man, the whole 9 yards. Tightly vetted seller community founded by Sports Card Nonsense and Geo's Cards and Breaks. One click grading at checkout. Check out our link in the description below. Be sure that's how you be sure to let them know that the Quest sent you.
Andy, so far the chat is mostly agreeing with you, it would seem. Looks like we got a sizable gap between our guesses, but that's good. That creates a little bit of excitement, a little bit of mystique.
They may be looking at the sold comps right now.
Yes, that's true. That's true. But hey, wouldn't that be something if, if there was some kind of trade news between now and 5 days from now? That could really screw up one of our guesses. That's for sure.
Hey, and my ask to you guys is when you go down there to hit the thumbs up button on this live stream, I know all you guys do that. When you go down there and do that, leave a comment under the actual video. All right. So if you leave like a comment under the actual video, that way, this time next week, I can easily go and just copy and paste everybody's name in the comments. That way, that would be really, really sweet, really helpful. So we got to have like a ground, like the price is right. It's the closest to it, but you can't go over, right? Should we do something like that
for the chat?
Yeah, for the challenger, it's just the closest period. I guess just the closest period.
Closest.
If you go by 5 cents, but like you're closest by a few dollars, like I feel like that should still win.
Just sold my immaculate one of 18 pits for 120. Interesting.
Hey, we got some comps. Got some comps coming in here from Captain Pops. Loving it. I like that little profile pic too. That's cool. Got the Funko Pop, man. Funko Pop. Captain Pops in the house. I'm looking at some of these comps, Steve, right now on eBay. I'm not going to share with the stream. So back to tight ends. Steve. We want to talk about tight ends. You want me to give you the rundown of the top 15 tight ends from this past season real quick? Or do you want to go ahead and give us one of the tight ends that you want me to look into? You want to talk about that we should be potentially live sniping tonight?
Is your list based on the fantasy performances, or is it from what's the measurement we're using?
That's a very good question. The measurement is very important. I am specifically looking at the top 15 PFF graded tight ends, so there definitely is a category. Like there's obviously they take into account their blocking grade and stuff like that, which they don't really care for fantasy purposes.
Yeah, let's run down the list and then we can debate about how we feel about those positions.
Okay. All right. Brock Bowers, tight end 2 already. That's what Derek Richards says. Oh, real-time results. All right. Number 1 tight end. Nobody's going to get this wrong. It's Travis Kelce. Topps Chrome. Most iconic card. Check that out. Cooling off a little bit, but when you had $200 cards, just like Mahomes or Josh Allen or any of these guys, that rookie cards get so expensive, they've just got to cool off. It doesn't matter what he does. I mean, he could go get blessed by the Pope tomorrow, and its rookie cards still aren't going to get more expensive when they're already when the base Topps Chrome from 2013 is already like twice, probably like 4 times as much as that of Geno Smith or like DeAndre Hopkins. I think DeAndre Hopkins, I guess, would be a decent comparison from 2013. You know, you could go and compare him. I mean, it's just hardly any comparison. Look at the difference between the prisms there. Average of 40 for Hopkins, PSA 10 prism, to 260 for Kelsey. So monster tight end rookie card numbers and performance numbers from Kelsey this past season. Overall grade of 91.3. He's in the conversation for the greatest tight end of all time. Number 2, Steve.
His numbers are actually could make him, and this is going to be heavily debatable, trust me, but his numbers over the last 5 or 6 years could argue that he's been the best receiver in the league overall in that same time span. Now, obviously, with the introduction of guys like Justin Jefferson, that may change over the next few years, but it's going to be a very hard thing to debate and how key to his team he was nonetheless. But, you know, one thing I like about Kelsey as well is he's got some iconic images on his rookie cards. And, you know, at that time, there wasn't a lot of variety. There's some variety nonetheless, but you look at a couple of those top rookie cards you showed on there, everyone knows those images, you know, his tops of him catching the ball and, you know, the little side view on the prism. So those are some great cards, man. And I do think that those will hold value long-term too.
Yeah. I mean, the guy, he's just, he's natural. I mean, he's very charismatic. He's very personable. I mean, there's not many people that I know don't like Travis Kelce. Or have, you know, mad respect for the guy. He not only had incredible pass blocking and run blocking grades, but he also had a position leading 137.1 passer rating when targeted, and tied for second with 28 explosive catches. That's a catch that results in a 15+ yard gain. The number 2 was George Kittle. I was actually reading numbers from George Kittle. So that was actually George Kittle stats. I was just reading 137.1 passer rating when targeted. Hey, that's that Brock Purdy connection he had going. And second with 28 explosive catches. Kelsey had 802 yards after the catch, 92 catches that resulted in either a first down or a touchdown. Just absolutely insane. And he had 122 pass rating when targeted. Really crazy. Really crazy numbers. So, yeah, number 2 is George Kittle. Very few rookie cards available. It really boils down to the rookie ticket auto or the Phoenix or this Donruss Elite. That's it. That's really it for him, man. There's limited. There's a couple others, but they're very rare. I mean, guys got, I think last time we looked, like 100 or less different rookie cards from 2017.
You know, the interesting thing with him is you saw a huge difference between Kittle when Purdy was getting the ball throwing the ball to him, and then other quarterbacks throwing the ball to him. And you know, someone that's looking to throw downfield, Kittle's going to really excel in that. But he's had some real clunker of a handful of games this year. But you know, on paper, yeah, he's going to be for sure one of the best, maybe top 5 even. But you know, if you're looking at it from a fantasy perspective, you know, he does have those clunker games that you can expect that, you know, every so often.
And he's not quite to the point where people are going to buy some kind of draft card. I don't know. Somebody's saying this is rare, but look at that picture on the back. Wow.
Is that made in someone's basement, perhaps?
Hardly recognizable. This is a super interesting card right here, but yeah, it does look very generic. It does look like it could have pretty easily been made in someone's basement. No bids. We'll see. This will be interesting. I kind of want to watch this one just to see if anybody actually buys it. or buys the fact that it's super rare, or is a fan of him at University of Iowa. So that'll be really interesting to watch.
Derek's asking if I'm saying that. Am I saying that Jimmy G sucks? No, but he doesn't really throw really far downfield, and they do run a very balanced approach when he's in the game. So I think you saw a little bit more of an explosive offense under Purdy.
Oh, what a look at. All right, let's see. So news break before we get to number 3, which is Mark Andrews. I want to share this snipe. If you guys have other snipes that you want to share in the chat, feel free to do so. We will throw them up on the screen. I'm going to star them as we go. If I don't get to them right away, if you want it thrown up right away, whether it's your listing or somebody else's, hey, if it's your listing, it's fine. The super chat is open, and we will be more than happy to stop whatever it is that we're doing and post up your comment or your listing on the screen, if that is what you choose. James earlier, he had a 2020 Mosaic Tua Prism PSA 10. Got to pull it up here. This is being sold by Card Collector 2. So you know you're going to get yourself a good slab there. Guy's got an excellent reputation within the hobby. There you go. Currently $51, $50 right now, ending in 47 minutes. A little bit of free promotion for Card Collector 2. And I mean, but it's a good price. I think that's a very good price. Let's pull up Tua real quick. I know a lot of people are out on Tua. Depends on how you feel about the injuries. I think Tua is a good buy low candidate right now, man, because we're not good at predicting injuries. I like buying low on Tua right now. I think it's smart to have some exposure to him.
Getting warm.
Yeah, just a quick deviation here. I always just want to go and see if I can find the Mosaic Silver.
Yeah, we saw the Mosaic, but I didn't see the silver.
Yeah, that's fine. That's close enough. Average 41, 42. Honestly, I think the silver is obviously a little bit more rare. Maybe.
Yeah, it goes for a bit more.
501 and 501 pop. So yeah, I mean, you get it close to where it's at now, not too much higher. I think you got a really good buy low because there's a lot of obviously upward potential, even if you're just looking at him compared to Jalen Hurts.
It's interesting. I think that the Mosaic silvers look better, but the base, well, not base, but just the plain silvers actually go for more because they are more scarce.
Little QB love for you guys. Little 2020 QB love for you guys. Now, back to tight ends.
Where were we at? We were at Mark Andrews.
Tight ends. Who's number 3? Mark Andrews. Overall grade 80.7.
I know a lot of people are going to be, myself included, feeling a little sting if you drafted Mark Andrews high last year because he did not follow up his previous campaign at all the same way he did the previous year. So, Andy, I don't know. I'm not out on Andrews. I don't know that I'm putting him at 3. I'm going to have to maybe move him down a spot or 2, but that's a pretty big fall from grace. Even just looking at those 2 cards there, if he was coming off of his previous campaign, those listings would be quite a bit higher already.
Yeah, no bids on the 99 auto die cut. A lot of photos are the same between the optic, the absolute, the parallel. It's all the same photo of him in a practice jersey. There's the XR, same photo. Once again, he looks really thick in this playoff card right here, but non-numbered playoff, not a super popular brand. That's not going to go anywhere. The Elite, same photo. The Prism auto that year, they butchered because they forgot to put the RC Shield on that. No bids at $30 currently. ending Saturday night. That's a good one to kind of get a gauge, maybe where demand. Obviously, demand is super low right now for him. He's gonna have to go out and actually prove it on the field to really get that hype. I mean,
mark that one, Andy, for $5. So want to go up. Yeah.
This same one, yeah. There's another one Sunday afternoon, 12:30, 5:50. I would say, like, yeah, if I could get this card for around $15, I feel good about that purchase. You know, just because. You know, 2018, right? It's a very contingent on Lamar Jackson, that offense getting going at a high speed again. And yeah, obviously he can get back there, but yeah, it's just I don't like his card selection either. It's very limited. I'm not a big fan of the 2018 product that's available for him. No rated rookie logo on his optics or Donruss. Yeah, that's not too crazy about that. Number 4, Steve, I do get a lot more excited about. Number 4 is a 2018 tight end too, and number 4 was into Super Bowl and looked like Superman out there catching some of those balls, man. That catch he made in the second half, absolutely insane.
Ooh,
Dallas Goedert.
That aqua's nice, man, right there.
Very nice. So Dallas Goedert, I think there's quite a few fans of Dallas Goedert's out there. Some base stuff, not this stuff's not getting much love. Although I do like 2018 optic, and you do have the rated rookie logo now, so it changes everything. The design, the look of it. I mean, this looks way better than the Mark Andrews, even though we still got a little practice jersey action going on. That's a cool looking select right there. This the photo and stuff.
Andy, I think we should disclaimer that at least that we discussed possibly doing our own list compilation in the near future. That this is merely a PFF grade list, not our list.
Yeah, this is not our list. I would love for you guys to chime in and let us know. Let us know how you feel about the ranking. I've not fully built out my off-season hype index yet, so yeah, let us know. How do you feel about Dallas Goedert here at number 4, Steve? Would you have him at number 4? Who would you have at number 4?
I would have T-Hawk at 3, Goddard at 4, and then probably Andrews at 5 right now.
Interesting. Okay, man. We got T-Hawk, who is at number 6 on the PFF list. Now on the Vikings, get that overall grade of 73.2 compared to the Dallas Goedert 78.2 and the Mark Andrews 80.7. He he had a really good he had 1.66 yards per route run and 20 explosive plays, both of which placed 5th amongst tight end. Actually, and TJ Hawkinson's got really good draft capital as well. So very excited about Dallas Goedert's future. Obviously part of a receiving tandem with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So that kind of takes some of the spotlight away from him. But he definitely had the big breakout games this past year we were hoping to see, man. He was a stud. He was a stud. Yeah, number 8 overall pick from 2019 is TJ Hawkinson. According to playerprofiler.com, he's best comparable to Travis Kelce, the massive catch radius, agility, and burst score. 6'5", 251 pounds. The guy dominated, man. Dominated at Iowa in college, and this past year almost put up 1,000 receiving yards. Had a career year, Steve. A career year with 129 targets, 86 receptions, 914 receiving yards, and 6 touchdowns. That's a tight end number 4 on a fantasy points per game basis. What's his market like, Steve?
Very healthy. I'm always on the lookout for stuff like that. That's a beautiful card. And I do see his stuff go for pretty respectable prices on a regular basis. Here's the thing is, you just mentioned it being a career best year for him. I think that is just a step maybe in a different direction, because he's now going to be on the field with Justin Jefferson, who's often seeing double teams. And this is a guy that creates mismatch nightmares for defenses. Andy plays well in the red zone. You know, have him on your fantasy teams, have him on your dynasty teams. I think that he has many more good years ahead of him.
You make a great point. TJ Hawkinson is number 3 amongst tight ends in red zone targets, number 5 in deep targets. So he's actually running a lot of routes. He's getting a lot of really high quality targets, and he converted that pretty doggone well last year. So number 2 overall in receiving yards and receptions. Man, that's exciting, dude, because we've been waiting for that breakout from TJ Hawkinson since his rookie year. And yeah, man, I agree with you. And they don't have there's not a whole lot of target competition for T-Hawk in Minnesota. He's definitely better than oh man, what's his name? It's the cat from Alabama that's like always injured. I was actually bullish.
Irv Smith.
Irv Smith. That's who I was thinking of. I don't know why his name was slipping me. Yeah, Irv Smith.
Mr. Glass, unfortunately. Yeah, he has. And there's still a lot of teams that are high on him. That's a guy that I could see moving on to a different team and maybe getting a fresh start if he can stay off the injured list. But yeah, man, Hawk, you know, and he kind of falls into that, you know, modern football card era. So he's got a pretty good selection of cards. He's got a rookie ticket auto. He's got optic prisms, a lot of recognizable photos on his cards. You know, you have the Donruss rated rookie with the helmet off that a lot of people like. So
yeah, he's got a really
I think he's a good buy. And I think that, you know, when they start pumping out some cards of him on Minnesota, that might be another good opportunity.
I think I saw some pretty interesting veteran cards. You know, one of them may have been this right here, and I never saw this card before tonight. Have you seen these 2022 absolute glass cards that are supposed to be case hit inserts that come in this sealed Panini case because they're like a thick glass tablet, like etched tablet?
That's really cool.
And they're selling for a lot of money. Veteran, doesn't matter the player. You can see that they're highly demanded, selling for a lot of money. I had a question in our YouTube comments from the last video. I'm going to get the person's name, make sure to shout them out here because I'd never heard of this card before. And let me see. I must have responded to him. Yeah. So shout out to Josh Hans 8525. And he said he was curious if he should crack his glass absolute here and sell it. He's got an Aaron Donald and sell it or submit it to PSA or sell it raw.
Is when he says crack it, I mean out of the
Yeah.
one touch from Panini, or
Yeah, so you could see this one here was submitted to BGS and came back a 10. So I'm wondering if these just have a naturally high gem rate because they're made out of glass. It's kind of hard for Panini to screw that up. Like if it's a case hit, you're not making a bunch of them. It's made out of glass. You can't really.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it's like it's going to be hard to screw up the corners. And I don't know about the centering and stuff, but maybe this is a high gem rate. It's going to be like, if it stays sealed, then the chances are it doesn't have like fingerprints or scratches or anything in it. I hate to crack it, but if you do it with like some Mickey Mouse gloves and are very careful and submit it to look, man,
that thing almost got a black label.
Almost got a black label. Got the 10 pristine because you didn't quite get the centering. They can always screw up the centering, can't they?
You'd think it's probably a hair harder to tell on a card that has no color.
But I thought I could have swore I saw.
You know, I think as far as I don't know, it's not the worst idea, but I feel like just because of the way the hobby is, I would say if it was a high-end QB rookie card, if it fit either of those two dynamics, I would consider grading it, but I think that there's not enough variance in the defensive players, my opinion.
Here's a great picture of one. This is how you got to take the picture. This is a whole new way of taking the picture for these things. Look at this. Shout out to G Collectables.
That's pretty nice, man. Laser etching.
Yeah, it looks like it's laser etch. I mean, that's a really cool card, right? Made out of glass, case hit. So if you find those things, guys, those are worth a couple $100. Easy.
You gotta love it, Andy. The hobby is constantly evolving to keep people intrigued and interested. And you know, we joked about like the 1-of-1 DNA card with like some player hair or fingernails in it or something like that. Inevitably, they're gonna run out of ideas. You're gonna have some weird crap like that going on.
Check out the hot take here from our man Joel Garza. It's good to see you, Joel. Haven't seen you in a while. Glad to see you're still in the hobby. Glad to see you still hanging in there, brother. I'm cautiously optimistic that the Texans are going to have a good offseason, man. I'm excited about the Houston Texans outlook for 2023. He says BGS is giving out 10s to stay relevant. Steve, what do you think about that?
I can't say because I don't know for sure, but I mean that surely would increase their the rate of submission if people knew that to be true, but I don't know that to be true. But there has been I'll say this, a lot of people don't know how the PSA 10 and the BGS 9.5 are comparable, and it didn't really make sense to me at first when I got into the hobby, but if you think about it, it does. Getting a 10 should be something very special, and they understand that, but a lot of new people in the hobby just want to see a 10 on the card, and they either need to readjust their grading or maybe rebrand or remarket something to include more people in the hobby in the way that they get their cards graded. The 9.5 is outstanding, but the value of the 9.5 compared to the PSA 10 the gap has separated quite a bit.
Derek said Dynasty Fantasy Rankings. He's got Andrews, Hawk, Little. I'm guessing he meant to say Kittle. Pitts, Kelsey. Current Kelsey is 1, but not sure how long he sticks around at this level. Good point. Good point. I'm loving this feedback here. Joel says that PSA in the one touch, if you want to sub it, they'll crack it for you. There you go. There you go, Josh. So James with another snipe here on Devonta Smith Obsidian Electric Etch Contra. That's a cool looking card. $44. Super rare card.
The Contra, the white Contra. Those are very rare. Those are case hits, but supposedly harder to get than that.
So I have been looking at a few tight ends that should increase in volume over this upcoming season that were rookies this past season. And one of those is Chig Okonkwo. Chig Okonkwo with the Tennessee Titans. The Austin Hooper is likely to be a free agent. He was only on a 1-year deal, so he is going to be a free agent this offseason. He's out. They just released Robert Woods. And Chigoziem Okonkwo really burst onto the scene. I guess it's just Chig. I think he's just gone by officially. He's gone by Chig. So Chig is officially burst onto the scene this past season, but he's got no rook cards. Look, I mean, he's just got some stuff. 8x10 photographs that are autoed, which I think are pretty cool. I mean, people are willing to still pay $20, and this just goes to show you how popular, how desirable a rookie autograph is, Steve.
Especially if a player doesn't have any other options at rookie card. Now, maybe they still print something. There's still quite a few sets that haven't come out, but no, I do agree that he's got some huge upside, and with Austin Hooper, maybe not sticking around, that's going to be his job for sure.
Yeah, the Tennessee Titans have the number 6 most vacated targets, so Chig has room to grow. It's a big time room to grow. He totaled a 33% target share, which was number 2 on 138 routes run last season. So, yeah, they got a lot of vacated targets. And he had, in weeks 12 through 18, 7 games, Chig totaled 4+ targets in all but 1 game. And that's the critical metric you want to look for when targeting tight ends. Are they running routes? Are they getting targets? Over 4 targets in all but 1 game there. That's incredible. That's incredible. He earned 5+ targets in all but 3 games. So wait for Chig. Like I think you mentioned earlier, Steve, that he'll definitely be printed in the super long checklist of contenders that'll come out this spring.
I would think so.
Yeah, they may include him now in Prism, or maybe not Prism, but maybe he's in Select. There's a lot of like late round rookies that get printed in Select that don't necessarily get printed in Optic or the other brands. So I like Chig, but yeah, it's a run heavy team. Let's see if they trade Derrick Henry. Let's see if they change the game plan this upcoming year at all. But not holding your breath on that. And the Titans don't have the biggest fan base, so it's not a massive market. People will go crazy, but this is a very dynamic rookie tight end heading a second year, runs a 4.52, big, athletic, strong tight end that it can definitely be like super productive, man. Super productive. What do you think about Cade Otton in Tampa Bay, Steve? Cameron Brate was released. Gronk is retired. Brady's retired. The Bucks total 117 vacated targets now.
I like it. I was actually trying to pick up one of his Genesis cards the other night and got outbid at the last second, but I like it. I mean, here's the thing is Trask isn't a rookie per se, but typically rookie quarterbacks tend to lean on the tight end quite a bit more than traditional veteran quarterbacks do. And he's going to be the guy. So he's shown little spurts of greatness last year. And now maybe without any competition at the position, you know, he could see to make a bigger play this year.
His autograph needs a little help.
Coup. It says coup.
His autograph got the CEO. This is a pretty cool card, man. That might look pretty decent on the wall. Okay, we kind of, this kind of reminds me of a late 90s kind of looking card.
Flair.
Yeah, Flair. There you go, man. It's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, that
He
nice.
did. Kate got quite a few targets, man. He actually had some pretty decent game, and there is a very sad outside chance that the Bucks trade Mike Evans this offseason. That is a rumor, which would be good for my Mike Evans rook card collection, because I guarantee he would go to a team that he's instantly gonna, just based on that news alone. If that were to happen, I would sadly probably sell a few of my Mike Evans cards, even though I'm going to hang on to some. I'd hope that he would be a Buccaneer lifer. But if it doesn't, then maybe I'd sell some Mike Evans on that news and buy some Cade Otton, because that's going to be a shit ton of vacated targets for the Bucks this upcoming season. And a rookie quarterback who, I know he's like, you were just talking about Kyle Trask. He's not essentially a rookie, but he kind of is a rookie, right? So it's like one of his best friends is going to be the tight end. And Otton was a very reliable receiver, earned 5+ targets in each week between week 7 and 9. 10 targets in week 13 and 6 targets in week 17. I think that could become more consistent next year. And I think he's definitely a tight end with how cheap his prices are. They could definitely develop in the league. I think I'm definitely going to buy myself some more Cade Otton, man. Now he's on a rookie contract.
Now, I'll tell you what I like about that card too, Andy, is most of his cards, he's in the practice uniform. So that makes that card stand out a bit more.
Yeah, the red jersey too. Red jersey, which if you look at all these other cards are all white jersey cards or practice uniform. Like, yeah, man. Actually, I think I'm gonna snipe that card. Let me go back up. Where is that? I mean, it's so cheap, dude. And this is a situation with the $5 shipping. Like, I'm gonna message this guy. So I'll place my bid. Oh, it's up 10.50. So I think there is another one in the what is this, out of 25? Yeah. So
That makes sense.
yeah.
Andy, I got a guy for you too. I don't know if you want me to wait till you're finished here.
I go 2188 there, but this is a guy that I would go to Collector Gadget 03 and see what else he's got. You know, he's got some David Ojabo, so he's got some 2022 stuff. And typically,
John Mechie.
Yeah, so he's got a John Mechie. I would definitely be interested in at the right price, and see if I could get consolidated shipping. Now all of a sudden we're talking. So what I want to do is like, ooh, okay, I'm kind of interested right off the bat in this Damian Pierce over here. If I get that at the right price, you know. Oh, he's ripping some 2022 Donruss. He's putting that on here. So it looks like this guy is breaking boxes.
Look at that Origins Mechie right there.
Yeah, man. Here we go. So, like, dude, okay, talk to this guy. Hey, if you can hold, if I win the Cade, like, all right, I'm trying to buy some of these other cards from you. You may be able to convince him even to pull him down and make a transaction with you, depending on how friendly he is, depending if you could build that relationship with him, you know. It helps me being a content creator. Maybe I convince him to get in our Discord or something. And make, you know, but I mean, even just as a normal buyer on here, I could just message him and see if it could potentially, he's got a Jamar Chase. All right, so this is good, man. Collector Gadget 03. Might be able to message him and work out a consolidated shipping. I want to see if I can get like 5 or 6 cards for that same $5 shipping. I'd feel really, really good about that.
That is a solid play, man. Solid play. Yeah, it's always a good idea, especially if there's some other stuff that you like. You know, then you're going to bring down the price per card for shipping to, you know, maybe $1.50 or $1 per card rather than just 5 on one card. Andy, I got a play. It's not a top 15 play per se, although it could be. But you were talking about 2022 tight ends. I have one for you.
All right, go for it.
It's a guy you know that I was very high on draft day during our stream, Trey McBride. And there's a few reasons other than me liking Trey McBride why I think you should at least take a look at Trey McBride. So as you know, Trey McBride plays for Arizona. Trey McBride is also, until the end of the season, was stuck behind Zach Ertz, who got hurt. Now there's a good chance that Zach Ertz, who won't be ready for the start of the year, gets released or traded. So that makes him the number one. And then the other being that there's a strong possibility DeAndre Hopkins gets traded, opening up, I mean, a lot of looks on that offense. So it's a really good position to be in. And if you look at Andy, his last couple of games of last year, he was seeing the ball a lot, including one game where he had 10 targets, 7 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown. So the potential is there for sure.
For sure, man. And he's got the draft capital. The only thing that I'm not liking about this whole Trey McBride situation, which maybe will help his prices, is that he plays for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, no, for sure.
He's going to have a lot of vacated targets, right? They release Zach Ertz, they trade DeAndre Hopkins. Now you're left with Marquise Brown and Greg Dortch or something, and Trey McBride is definitely an up and comer, man. Look at that, early second round or mid late second round draft pick, really productive at look at that 99th percentile college dominator from Colorado State. Yeah, man, big, strong, athletic tight end, receiving profile, numbers like you mentioned.
Actually picked up not what I was looking for, but I recently got a Pen Pals Purple Ink, and I got myself a red Spectra out of 8.
I know you're a big fan of the Black Pandora. That red Spectra out of 8 sounds really nice. Check out the optic preview. You were asking about optic preview, man.
Those are going to be a little pricey right now with that product just coming out. But man, send me that link. I want to watch that one.
Yeah, look at that. Only 2 bids. It ends Sunday night. It's a 99-cent auction. This is what you want to see right here. So this is another situation where I might go, all right, Danco, I see you. I see you, Danco. What you got, bro? And go in here and see, because Danco's doing a lot. He's a guy ripping boxes and listing it on eBay, which you like to see because typically they just want to move the product. And a lot of their auctions are going to start at 99 cents just to move it, you know? And they're a type of person that's not going to get bent out of shape because, you know, a certain, you know, Javonte Williams Prism Auto didn't end for $100, you know, like he really, really wanted, you know. No, he's going to honor the auction end. And
look at that Stafford, Andy.
Matt Stafford. I knew that Matt Stafford was going to catch your eye with that SGC 10 and the red pulsar there.
You know, that's a guy we haven't really talked a lot about, and he's coming back from a pretty serious neck injury, but I think it's worth noting that when that guy's healthy, that's a very potent quarterback.
Yeah, let me send you this. Let's see, private chat. Let's send you this link. Comments. What is Joel saying? Optic preview. Yeah, Joel was I think one of the first guys besides you, Steve, that was speaking up about the optic previews with the little P on the back. The little P on the back you could see here. Let's find it. Where's the number? Yep, there it is. So P-337 lets you know that it's a preview. It's also going to be a different photo than what the actual optic has that comes out later this summer. And these are way more rare because these are, I would imagine they're hobby-only inserts, but I'm not certain on that. Maybe Joel or or somebody out there knows that whether you can like potentially pull these in a blaster box or mega box or hanger pack from Target. Speaking of which, I was at Target today and I couldn't find any Donruss, unfortunately. I wanted to buy a box of Donruss. I'm getting ready to do a massive giveaway for all the patrons, and I couldn't find any there. But so it's not out at my Target because my Target literally has everything else. I think they would have Donruss because I don't think people are just like, you know, stampeding over each other to try and clean the shelves of Donruss.
You know, I never see football product almost ever at the local Walmart or Target, but they had score blasters. I'm like, nah.
They have score. They have select draft picks. They've got classics. I think it was classics. There's like 3 different football products. There was basketball products. I don't even remember what brands, because as soon as I see a basketball player or a baseball player on it, I'm like, that's not me. And I'm like specifically looking for football, you know. So, yeah, I don't see any 2022. No 2022. No 2022 mega boxes yet. What are the guys saying in the chat? Where's the mic cam? I need to know what the retail drop schedule is going to be like for 2022 Donruss. It's not out yet, man. It's not out yet.
Yeah, they usually leave a little bit of a buffer between Donruss and optics so that people actually buy the Donruss.
Here's one. Where the heck is this one from? It's like photoshopped with the background removed. It's a little sketchy, but it is Scar Sports. They got a bunch of good feedback. $38.83. That's not a whole lot more than what you could buy at a retail store, right? I mean, it's typically a $30 box, if I'm not mistaken. 63 sold.
I've been getting some messages on. I got a couple Burrow optic previews and people asking me to come down on my price because of comps, and I was straight up honest with them. I said I think that first of all, I'm not in a hurry to sell it, and second of all, I think it's worth more than the current market has them listed at. So, you know, obviously, if you have like some middle or lower tier guys, you know, do your research. But if you got like a top tier guy, like it may be advisable to hang on for a bit.
You know who I'm a lot more excited about? I like your Trey McBride pick from a singular athletic standpoint, but from a just like a holistic team standpoint, I love the acquisition of Sean Payton as the new head coach of the Denver Broncos. They could really only go up. You know, that defense is really good. And Russell Wilson can really only go up this year. I like Greg Dulcich, man. He looked really good this past season. He debuted, man. He debuted out of nowhere. He was the tight end number 5, weeks 6 through 8, totaled 17 targets and just over 60 yards per game in that span. However, you know, he dwindled like the rest of the Denver Broncos offense. The good news is that his 5 targets per game from weeks 6 to 8 held up in weeks 10 through 16 as well. So, you know, I don't know. A bet on Greg Dulcich is definitely a bet on Russell Wilson's rebounds. So, you know, you kind of have to take both of those together. It's kind of like one of those stacking opportunities, wouldn't you say, Steve?
He looked really good last year. And I think that you got to like the overall situation. Russ seemingly poised to bounce back. As bad as he looked, you got to think that it's going to be at least better than last year. Plus the acquisition of a coach. There's going to have to be a whole reevaluation of everything they've done last year and looking forward. But he's a guy that's definitely going to be a key part of that offense, so I like the play. You know, one thing that is worth noting for people that, you know, maybe haven't been doing fantasy that long or doing cards that long or whatever the case is, especially in fantasy, you know, the first tight end off the board was always like, now you waited till like the last round of the draft to take the next couple tight ends or whatever. Like the talent fall off was very steep after the first guy, maybe even this first 2 guys. But you got a lot of guys like after Kelsey, let's say, or even after Kelsey, Andrews, or whoever you personally have at like 2 or 3, that keep things pretty interesting, like after that little meaty section right there. And you could make an argument for them being top 5 or top 10 or top 15 just because of how well the position has evolved to being an offensive weapon and not just a blocker.
Very true. And Greg Dulcich actually has a ton of unrealized air yards. So air yards are the distance of all intended targets, you know, whether they were received or not. So he's actually got 312 unrealized air yards. That's number 7. That's the 7th most air yards, unrealized air yards amongst tight ends. So Denver Broncos also total 14.7 vacated targets, number 17 as well. Honestly, I don't think there's anywhere that they can go but up. I think he's a guy that's promising. Denver Broncos also have a massive fan base, and people like when you could buy the guy's got a very unique look too, right? He's kind of got like this Mississippi mustache going. You know, obviously he's a physical specimen. He's got this long, flowing, curly hair, almost like this Hayden Hurst kind of hair out the back, you know. So he's got a really iconic look too that I think can stick with people and kind of drive a collection base, if you will. This card in particular, I really like, man. These have been really popular going back to the beginning of this past season when Elite was released. I feel like this 2022 Elite Turn of the Century is a card that is going to hold some pretty good long-term value. I really like the design of it. I saw a lot of it sold. I want to see how much of it is still being sold.
No,
Brock Purdy's
good.
going for a G.
Oof, man. No, those are nice looking, and you know it's good to get some hype coming out of these early release sets, because it's just not fun to just sit around till the following season when Prism and Optic finally come out, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of these sets have made it so that there's desirable chase cards in them, and I think that's a great looking card for sure. You know, I'm partial to my pen pals, but no, that's a great looking card.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's Aiden Hutchinson still selling for about 50 to $60. I mean, these are still popular cards. I mean, It obviously depends on the player and stuff. There's Velus. There's your boy Velus Jones Jr. The Chicago version of like LaVisca Chenault or something. Got the Quay Walker. Yeah, I mean, I just think they're nice designs. I think they're a decent card that you could look at. Especially still be relevant down the road. All right, Steve, another tight end.
Are we going down that list yet? Are we going down that list? I think we finished.
I want to run down the rest of the top 15 real quick. We kind of skipped around. Pat Freiermuth is a guy that I'm very, very bullish on. He's got a lot of similarities to Dallas Goedert in the size. Like, he's almost identical size. Is 6'5", 258 pounds, and Goddard is 6'5", 256 pounds. So extremely comparable. They're both were second round picks to Pennsylvania teams, right? And Goddard, Freiermuth has now posted receiving grades north of 70 PFF receiving grades in each of their first 2 professional seasons. That's really impressive for a tight end that's that young. 1.62 yards per route run, ranks 7th. So big fan of Pat Freiermuth. He built an incredible chemistry with young Kenny Pickett, and I expect that to only grow and develop this upcoming year. And I really like Pat Freiermuth in the Steelers offense. Steelers also have this massive fan base, and these people will spend buku money on the players that they like, you know, and they've got a lot of similarities. Like Pat Freiermuth maybe reminds them of like a Heath Miller or you know, a guy like that. It's like this legendary Pittsburgh tight end that then they're absolutely going to want to collect this guy, and he could be ultra productive and pay off big time.
I agree. No, I had him on a few deeper leagues that had a tight end or 2 tight end spots, and the guy does put out points. I mean, he really does, and it's a team that does use the tight end quite a bit. He's a big-bodied guy. He's going to eat the middle of the field up. He likes the red zone, and he's new-ish. He's a 2021 tight end, so there's a lot of product out for him. He's still very relevant, very fresh on everyone's minds. It's a nice rookie ticket, man. Look at that. It's just all black and gold right there.
Wonderful color match, just silver prism optic rookie ticket auto. Great condition, man. Don't get a lot of the edge and corner issues that the base contenders comes with. $30 buy it now. It's very fair, like very good. Oh, baby, though. I want this. I missed out on the Cade. Maybe I won't miss out on this. Definitely love the fact that all this man's product is out. Another beautiful card right here.
Ooh, out of 75.
2 snipes ending in 12 minutes. Alert,
He's got a really nice auto, too. I like his auto. It almost looks like a 22 or a JJ, but
yeah, it does almost look like a 22 or a JJ. So which one would you be going for here, Steve? This is a tough one, man. This is a tough one here. Spoli's bad boys side by side.
Just based on my personal preferences, the optic.
Where'd this one go? There we go.
I feel like, you know, the power of the rated rookie logo, and I feel like it'll end for a little bit less than the rookie ticket.
We've got 10 minutes left on both of them. Probstein, are you allowed to even bid on these yet?
Nope.
No, that's so messed up, man. It's so messed up.
Over an interface glitch, it's pretty amazing. I should actually reach out to him again about that, because all things considered, especially given the 2,000 plus 100% positive feedback I have, you think one interface glitch that they would forgive, but
man, check this snipe out. James just got $12.50 green optic previews, one of his rarest. I think it was a Rashad Bateman. Oof, Nice. PSA 10. What?
The greens are very
What?
rare. The blue, green are, I think, the rarest, I think. And then purple is up there because that was a Fanatics exclusive. And then in the hobby and retail, you could get the retail was the pink and the green and red, I think.
Buying format, auction, ending soonest. Yeah, by default right now, they're both the same serial number. I think I would go with I think I will go for the optic because the rated rookie logo over the rookie ticket. Although I am obviously very bullish on both at the current price point, but
yeah, it's almost a trick question, Andy. I think both is the right answer.
I got outbid on the last that Cade. Let's see if we can get
Really?
this one.
Wow.
I did. Yeah, I did. Someone got me on that one.
Do you think that Phoenix, the next one down, you think that that's overpriced, or you think that that's just on par with where it should be? I feel like that's like retail.
Yeah,
Like
I think that's on
snipe.
par. Out of 125s, it's just, man, that plain black napkin patch there and the sticker auto. Did they get rid of the RC? No, there it is. I was like, okay, I thought they learned their lesson and they put RC shields on everything now, which I think they do. Yeah, I mean, it's okay, but yeah, I think I wouldn't pay more than $20 for that card, really. 25 at the most.
I agree. I think that they're just asking retail, and it doesn't make it a bad buy. It doesn't make it a good buy. But there is an offer button on there. So if that's a card you like. I actually like the look of the card. So if that's one you like, maybe, throw a 15er at him and see what he says.
Man, there's some really good opportunities on Pat Fryermuth. I'd definitely be looking at him in auction. Like this, there's another one right there.
I seen a Pen Pals go by. It was a little pricey, but
Pen Pals.
I definitely have a couple copies of that card.
Oh, Pen Pals with the passport, man. Got the case it passport with your Pen Pals.
That's not bad.
Nice.
Chad, what did he say? What did Bateman say?
I did not see. Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up right now. I got my little handy dandy app right here. We'll go Rashad Bateman. Let's see what we got. Rashad Bateman. I know I didn't see that. It's not on here. It's not on the. I use the NBC Sports Edge Roto World, the Roto World app on my phone. And they're really good, but yeah, it must not have been relevant enough, or maybe I wonder if there's any speculation around whether he actually called it out. If you could, it's all over Twitter and all the news outlets. This must be really recent then. Let's see. Now let's go to Twitter. Let's go to Twitter.
I gotta see this.
Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman calls out his GM. There you go. He said, how about, this is directly from his Twitter account. So this is like pure straight up drama gossip right here. How about you play to your player's strength and stop pointing the finger at us and number 8? Blame the one you let do this. We take heat 24/7 and keep us healthy. Care about us and see what happened. Ain't no promises though. Tired of y'all lying and capping on players for no reason. Oof.
It's pretty bold, man. It's pretty bold.
Oh, I see, because this tweet here from Sarah Ellison, Eric DaCosta on problems drafting wide receivers. If I had an answer, that would probably mean I would have some better receivers. We're going to keep swinging. Woo. Oh, so he took a direct shot.
Man, I get where both guys are coming from, though, Andy. Bateman.
I knew Derek
Bateman-
was gonna. I knew Derek was gonna. I knew Derek was gonna call Rashad Bateman out on this one. I knew Derek was gonna call Rashad Bateman out on this one. He's not a fan of those Minnesota receivers. I can't tell you that I was bullish on Bateman. I am hopeful that he can turn his career around. Got to stay healthy, right? But his brother from Minnesota, I think I can barely remember his name anymore. What's his name? The dude that's been cut like 3 teams now that we're like so high. Tyler Johnson, that I have so many rookie cards of. Thank God I sold some of them, but I still literally have like a stack of RPA Tyler Johnson cards that I don't think I'll ever move. He's just a total bust, even though he was a beast at Minnesota.
There's always the Bucks wall behind you, man. You got to have a second wall.
Yeah.
The all Buccaneers bust wall.
Hey, I could buy a gold prism auto for like $15. I might do it, man. I might do it. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it is all over the news. So I guess it's a matter. That was 10 hours ago. So I guess it's a matter of time before it comes on Roto World, or if he's like actually traded because of this. Be interesting. So I got one more tight end for us before we get out of here tonight, Steve. I got one more tight end that I want to talk about that I think we'll receive a increase in targets next year. And it's a guy that I bought before. This is going to be the oldest guy that we talk about tonight besides the best guys, right? We talked about Travis Kelce and George Kittle, and those guys are 2017. This is another 2017 rookie. He signed a massive 4-year contract before last season, actually before the 2021 season with the Patriots. At that time, I bought a lot of this cat's rookie cards because he came from the Tennessee Titans. You could literally hand the ball off to him. You could throw the ball to him. I mean, he's just a massive, fast, explosive human being. That is Jonnu Smith. And massive contract with the Saints, with the Patriots before the 2021 season. He totaled 55 receptions on 83 targets for 539 yards and a touchdown. And I think that you're kind of betting on Bill O'Brien at this point to unlock Jonnu Smith. I mean, it's just a massive contract. I think they've got to use him. Hunter Henry is a cut candidate. It would save the Patriots $10.5 million of his $15.5 million cap number. His absence would free up 59 targets as well in the offense. If Henry stays, it's a good thing that the Patriots total 176 vacated targets anyway. That's number 10 highest vacated target. So whether Henry stays or goes, this is likely an increase for Jonnu Smith. There's also a potential DeAndre Hopkins trade or Brandon Cooks trade to the Patriots. There's a likely landing spot for those two guys. But I think that they do potentially cut Hunter Henry. That'll free up a ton of cap space. They've already got Jonnu Smith on this big contract. He had 26.2% target rate, which was number 5 amongst tight ends, 149 routes run. His route participation clip is low. So it's got to increase the route participation. I think even if Bill O'Brien gives him a slightly conservative 25 routes a game, that's a big improvement. We could be looking at a big increase. He's a yak monster, Steve. Yak monster.
I think the biggest takeaway is if he's featured and he plays even above average, he's a starter on the offense for the New England Patriots, which means very popular.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you take anything away from it, just that alone should be enough to maybe grab a few on the low end. You know, because he's in a timeshare as of right now, there's definitely not going to be, you know, a super high demand for his stuff. So there's definitely going to be some availability.
Yeah, man, I love that. Best comparable to David Njoku. Check out that 4.62 40-yard dash. Look at that 94th percentile burst. Look at the yoke on that guy. 6'3", 248. Third round draft capital. See, Derek, we're talking about third round tight ends now, man. 100th
You were so
percentile
wrong,
breakout
Derek,
age.
man. Not a single fourth rounder mentioned today.
100th percentile breakout age. Massive. Spark X. That stands for speed, power, agility, reaction, quickness. It's a Nike athleticism test. 94th percentile. 93rd percentile college dominator. Florida International. My man here from the iconic 2017 draft class. So you get those silver rookies out of the box. I'd love to target me some Jonnu Smith autos. Not very common at all. Have to get them in. I would think this would be a good one that you could look at veteran, right? Look at this. It's super cheap, but I just want to point out this does have 2 bids. It's out of 99. I think this is when the veteran cards become very relevant. You have a big team change, even though the Titans uniforms don't look that crazy different from the Patriots. Obviously, Patriots collectors want Jonnu Smith in the Patriots uniform. They probably got some exposure to the rookie cards. That's the most liquid market. But if the collection market is desirable, then you want to think like a collector for your investment portfolio as well. So his veteran autograph rare stuff is going to be very much relevant.
Yeah, and look for stuff like this that has low shipping too. Or look on ComC where you're going to find, you know, even cheaper veteran autos potentially and not have to worry about shipping. Yeah, man, my dog's looking for its extra chromosome. Lost it somewhere.
Derek knows. He's got the little dogs. I'm sure they're probably running around. He feeds them good though, man. Feeds them good.
Oh, you going for it, Andy? You going for it?
35. You think this guy's upside? I mean, I think so. 5. The beige. I wasn't going to go for this one specifically. I was actually going to go for something even more rare. I think this does have a little bit of upside though. It looks cool. It definitely has a cool looking card. But I don't like making these impulse decisions. I mean, I think there's definitely upside there. Let's see if it ends for anything anything higher. You know, the vet 425. Okay. Yeah. Someone made a little last minute $2 move on it. 550 actually in it for 550. So 1050 out the door. I don't know. I just like doing a little bit more research before I buy. I like looking at everything that's available.
Go back up.
What happened?
Right there. That's the one.
It's gold.
That's the one.
I almost went right over this. This person made this card so small in the picture.
He doesn't have a rated rookie logo, but but that is his optic rookie.
This guy must be still tripping from Woodstock 2011. Shout out to eBay seller W Stock 2011. He must be tripping from Woodstock 2011 because everything just looks big to him because this card is so far off in the distance. You know,
I will say it just from the quick look at it, does appear to be gradable. Very gradable.
Very gradable. That one thing. Do you see that little white spot to the right of his shoulder? Is that a speck on the card? Is that a dimple, or is that part of the picture?
I would look at another. It could be some debris from the field flying up. I've actually seen that on a few other cards that I thought was actually a speck, but it was actually part of the picture. So,
all right, let's find another.
Look at another optic.
Same photo, different card. I'm getting a bunch of random stuff here.
Unfortunately, that image on that one we just passed is quite blurry.
Man, okay. I did type his name right. Or J-N. Oh, yeah. Oh, but I
Maybe
typed in
maybe go
auto.
optic.
Yeah. Doesn't have much auto stuff. Hardly any rookie auto stuff at all. All right.
There you go.
No, nothing on that one. There's a couple specs over there. Honestly, but the
It could
fact
even
that
be
it's
something that'll
gold.
wipe off with a cloth, though.
Yeah, the fact that it's gold, this is raw, like sitting on a carpet or some type of upholstery and super far away. I could make this photograph look way, way better. Yeah, this has got serious upside. I want to target this. Probably willing 08 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, definitely willing to pay $30, $40 easy for that,
Golds are always sought after, especially rookies.
I definitely want to take a closer look at this veteran Johnny Market with the Patriots uniforms, man. Looks like he's been printing some pretty rare stuff.
White Sparkle, Genesis, Honeycomb. There's going to be a lot of, low price, veteran type cards for him. If you're trying to target the Patriot uniform, that shouldn't be too hard to do.
Looks like I got one of the Friarmouth. Let's see which one I got.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got the oh, snap. I got that Friarmouth Optic on-card auto out of 75 for $15.50.
No way.
It didn't go up at all. No, it didn't go up at all, man.
That is an insane buy, Andy. I love it.
There you go, guys. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Bam.
Sold to me.
Now I said that would go for less than the rookie ticket. Do you know what the rookie ticket went for?
Oh yeah, let's find that rookie ticket. Let me see if I go back to it. Here it is. 26.
Okay. Still not bad.
Wow.
Very respectable.
Very respectable. Interesting that went up higher. Maybe someone graciously in the chat decided to go for the rookie ticket auto instead of the optic. Appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, I like Isaiah Likely, man. He's just got a lot of target competition there with Mark Andrews and Josh Oliver. We didn't mention Josh Oliver. Josh Oliver's a stud, dude.
Yeah, we covered him quite a bit last season. He's definitely got a really bright career. Maybe they'll line him up at receiver if their loudmouth receivers keep getting hurt. He could definitely do it. He definitely could do it.
So the rest of the list, really quick. David Njoku got a lot of room for improvement. Massive contract to Cleveland Browns. Look at him. Another 2017 big-time tight end. Look at Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett, overrated. Dalton Schultz. With Gerald Everett over? There's not a whole lot of rook cards either.
Dalton Schultz is maybe a cut candidate, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they're far off on the contract. Dalton Schultz scheduled to be a free agent, and he's one of the top tight end free agents on the open market.
I can't remember the cat's name. They drafted a tight end last year. I think most likely that's the guy who starts the season for him. And if I remember correctly, he's actually in the hobby too.
Interesting. I'll have to look into that because Dallas Cowboys, it's America's team, man. Look who's at number 12. So number 11, Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram had a career year with the Jacksonville Jaguars this past year, including an insane monster game. He's in scheduled to be a free agent, but it looks like the rumor today is that he's going to get the franchise tag, actually. So that's a good for Evan Ingram. Ultimately, like Trevor Lawrence is going to have just buku weapons next year with Calvin Ridley and Evan Ingram and Zay Jones and Christian Kirk. And it's going to be nuts. Travis Etienne. Cole Kmet, number 12 on here. Steve, Cole freaking Kmet on here.
What's not to like about this guy? This is not just me being a homer, by the way, but first of all, he's only 23 still, which is pretty impressive for a guy that was a 2020 draft pick. And he's also a favorite of the new GM, which means he'll be sticking around. In fact, they're talking about extending him before the start of this upcoming season. And it's hard to say stat-wise that his stats reflect how good he actually is, because if you remember the first, I don't know, at least half of the season where Justin Fields was throwing the ball like 10 to 12 times a game only. So it's really hard to get a true evaluation of your tight end when you're not throwing the ball. But if he had some massive games down the stretch, and Andy, I'm sending you commit cards all the time that are ending in the $100 plus stratosphere, and it sometimes kills me, man, because I've been trying to keep my commit collection growing, but he's got pretty big upside, man, and in an offense that has a lot of money to spend this offseason, and they're actually throwing the ball now. So I think that there's definitely some big upside there.
Yeah, man. When they finally unlocked him, they unlocked Justin Fields and started running that more dynamic offense. Cole Kmet became transformed into more of a Mark Andrews. And believe it or not, Cole Kmet actually held his own as a run blocker this past season. So a lot of people had knocks on him as a blocker, but his 457 run blocking snaps were the most by any tight end in 2022, and his 65.1 run blocking grade from PFF ranks 6th amongst tight ends. And it says his tape isn't chock full of dominant blocks. His 6.8% positive run block ranked 12th, but he excelled at doing what was expected of him, as his 12.7% negative run block rate ranked 4th best. And he also averaged 5.9 yards after the catch and ranked 6th, which ranks 6th, and his 98.4 passer rating when targeted ranked 9th. So there's just no way to view Kmet's receiving output without acknowledging Chicago's passing offense in totality, like you mentioned. So, yeah, man, I think there's a lot of room for growth. It is tough, like you mentioned, already tough to find good, like cheap rookie autos of Cole Kmet. Like, this is something to definitely watch when you can find stuff like that, right, Steve? Because you have sent me listings that have ended all over the place. Like, there's some serious Cole Kmet collectors out there. And, I mean, Chicago, massive fan base. So,
It's like anything else when a player pops off or is about to pop off. I think it's like a pot that's simmering and it's kind of near the top. Like, there's a lot of people that know what the ceiling looks like for him or could be, and there's a lot of people that are still unaware, which is why there's such a variation between the same two cards on a day-to-day basis for the same for two different auctions. But yeah, man, I'm always looking. Tom, if you happen to find another immaculate for $30, I would be shocked. But if you do, link it up in the Discord, man. I'll be picking that up.
Nice. Awesome. Good to see you out in the chat, Tom. Appreciate you, sir. Stopping by saying hi before we end the stream. Anthony Gagnon. Probably butchered your last name. Sorry, bro. I'm gonna start calling you Tony. Tony. Steve's got to give his dog some treats, though, people. He's got to take him out before they piss all over his kitchen floor or something.
We will, though. At least the plan, though, is to make a list of our own for tight ends, and that would include not just where we feel they'll finish in a fantasy ranking system, but also compare what their rookie cards go for and see make that part of the value on their list ranking as well. And one name I want to throw out there, I know Derek and maybe a few of you know this guy's name, but Dalton Kincaid. He's a rookie.
Oh, you're talking about somebody.
He will be a rookie. He's going to be in the draft this year. Probably the second guy off the board, but maybe the first. It's just a guy to keep an eye on.
Yeah. Have you Bowman Chrome U? He's actually the highest graded PFF ranked tight end this upcoming draft class. Dalton Kincaid, followed by another fellow Notre Dame tight end alongside Cole Kmet there, Michael Mayer. Mayer's one of the highest floor players in the draft class, man. These Notre Dame knows how to produce some tight ends, man. You got Dalton Kincaid there out of Utah. Look at that. Luke Musgrave, Sam Laporta, Darnell Washington, Tucker Kraft, and then it really kind of falls off. But look, I mean, that's some pretty good talent there at the top, man. So keep your eyes out if you guys are getting into any 2022 Bowman Chrome U or any other college product coming out, trying to snipe for the upcoming draft class.
Yeah, buddy, man. Yeah, buddy.
Derek says Michael Mayer is the TE1. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, he's more experienced. He's well-rounded at the position as far as blocking and overall possession goes. But you got a little bit of a freak of nature with Kincaid, and he's not as experienced at the position. But I think that makes it all that much more intriguing.
And before we get out of here, because Tom's in the chat, Dawson Knox was the number 13 top tight end from 2022 on PFF's list. He finished the year ranked 22nd among tight ends with a 64.3 receiving grade. He had an average of 1.06 yards per route run, placed only 25th, and he had a 7.6% drop rate, which was tied for the third highest. Knox did, however, come in at 14th with a 54% of his catches resulting in either a first down or a touchdown. And he also fared well as a blocker. So there you go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So go take those dogs outside so they can use the bathroom, man. Give them a dog bone. They deserve it. Get yourself a nice cold refreshing beverage. Hit the gym. We had a good time tonight, Steve. Appreciate all you guys out there in the chat. Make sure you go check out the Card Shop Live, whenever you get around to it. Use our description and link below. Make sure you like the video and leave a comment underneath the video on what you think that immaculate Kyle Pitts is going to end at. And
just about to say that. Like, comment. Maybe you win yourself a little prize from Andy next week, whatever giveaway that's going to be. But closest gets it, man. I'm looking forward to see what everyone's guesses are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you next time. Peace.